name is Lucan, and I am an 8th grade student at Waihona, Hoʻokanaka Public Charter School. I'd like to share our journey in investigating our school's backyard, the Pacific Ocean. Our school is situated in Mount Kula, right on the Lawai'a coast, and our backyard is the ocean. This is Kumihiala, who is our science kumu. He was the one who taught us how to research this project using an underwater drone. Kumihiala, to start off, can you explain the purpose of this research and what instrument you use to study the ocean?
Yes. We have a class. On top of our science class, we also have Hoʻokanaka class, which is where our students learn Hawaiian skills and Hawaiian hana no ea. One of our hana no ea Hoʻokanaka classes is on fishing, Lawai'a. And so, me being science and fishing, why not bring them both together and use the scientific method to try and do some study on the fishing habitats that we have right in our backyard. The equipment that we use, we went and our school purchased a drone, an underwater drone that gives us a live feed and the ability to do some observations of our underwater habitats here. And so that's kind of what we use to explore our places out here.
I see. More on the scientific method, how did you use it to teach about researching the ocean behind us?
So the scientific method is a systematic way of solving, it basically solves problems. And so what we have to start off with is first a question that our students want to ask and that they're curious to find the answer to. So our students asked questions about our ocean, things like what fish are located here, where do they live, are they in danger? So our students had a good dozen or so questions that they wanted to answer, and we used the scientific method to try and find solutions to it.
So you talked about how some of the students gave questions they wanted to know about the kai. What was some questions that you posed to the students?
I wanted the students to think about what we would do with the data that we collect here. In particular, I want everyone to have a good respect for our kai. There's a question of ethics that might come in. I mean, if we publish all of the information and all the resources that's available here, someone might come here and try and take all of them. So along with studying what's available and what we have in our kai, also comes along aloha aina, malama honua, and all of our kupuna's teaching that also come with knowing what we have. Because in our kupuna's eyes, the more we have, the more responsibility we have. Kuleana is the Hawaiian word for possessions. It's also the Hawaiian word for taking care of your possessions. So even though we are learning about what's available here, we also need to learn about sustainability and preserving and protecting the natural resources that we have.
I see. With all that in mind, would you be so kind to share some discoveries you made that you are comfortable with sharing at this present moment?
Yes, so our students, what we did was, the process that we followed was we used this drone, underwater drone, to pilot around underwater here, just inside here. And what our students were looking for, a bunch of them were looking for 12 different data points. And so some of the data points that they were trying to look for was what species of animals do we have here. And we actually discovered that there is some special fish, I don't want to give the real name, but there are some special fish right out here that we never knew was out here. Other things that we learned was, sadly, we saw more pollution than fish. And that was a big aha moment for our students, that even though at the surface, outside of the water, it looks like a nice day where the water is clear. But when this thing gets into the water and really shows us what's underwater in the environments, a lot of our students were really shocked to see how much small microplastics and all kinds of debris was in the water. So there was some great positive moments. There were also some realistic moments where we need to start thinking about the health of our kai.
I see. Speaking about unexpected discoveries, what were some challenges that came up during this project?
Okay, so challenges. There were some challenges. This thing, even though it's expensive, maybe not built for Hawaiian waters. Because when we tried to put this thing in, boom, it crashed. Yeah, it got pounded a couple times. It's still kicking, it still works. But our ocean wasn't cooperating. And so we had to wait for a clear day because sometimes the sun's not out, we can't see. Sometimes the waves are big and we can't get it out there. And so some challenges are we're trying to find a nice day and a perfect opportunity to take it out. And other challenges were our schedule. So scheduling, our students have a lot of work to do. It's not necessarily safe every day to be out here, especially when there's high surf and heavy winds. So as long as everything would match up, which it eventually did, I'm glad it did, we were able to come out here and gather the footage and do the research that we wanted. So at the end, even though all of those challenges made it a little difficult, we persevered through all of them, and our students got what we came out for.
All right, to wrap this all up, how do you think this research, if you continued it with other students down the line, what would be some benefits we could see from that?
I think we definitely need to continuously check in, almost as a temperature check or a daily health exam for our kai. Just because we jump in there one time and we get like a one still picture and a snapshot of a current state of what it is, we might come back the next day and it might be totally different. So treating our ocean and all of our resources as a living thing, something that can be nurtured and maintained and upkept, I think that would be a really beneficial thing for our kai and also for our students to learn. If we can continue to do projects like this, I'm hoping that our students will learn that valuable lesson of our aina and our kai, and everything that we have is valuable, and it should be treated as if it has life, because it does. If we continue to do more of the research and more information, it'll be beneficial. I don't want to say it's beneficial to people that will come and collect. Even us ourselves, we are Lawai'a, we fish. We take only what we need. We take only what is what can safely be harvested, and we don't want to overfish. We always want to malama kai. And so checking in on what is there, what is available, and giving back, cleaning up, and getting these good experiences and views of all of our resources. I think it'll forever be a lesson that will never stop. We're going to use this thing until it dies and the battery is not working anymore. But I'm glad that we had a chance to start this project.
I believe that's all the questions I have for you today. Mahalo Kumkiala for teaching us the importance of studying the ocean on the west side of Oahu. It is our hope that by studying the ocean, we will all gain a new appreciation of it, and we can learn how to be better stewards of it, just as our Hawaiian ancestors were. Mahalo for watching our research, and aloha to all of you. Ahui ho, malama pono.
I didn't see a lot of fish. I only had like a couple of fish, but one fish and a lot of it in one area. And different types of area had more fish, but different species. And the different types of species that I saw was angelfish, triggerfish, and some turtles.
So our question was, how can we find fish so we can catch them? So my conclusions was, in conclusion, for us to catch those fishes that I saw inside the video was to be lined up with the basketball court and go 50 feet out, because that's how Kumkiala, or the brave soldier, go use the underwater drone to go take the video. So yeah.
So our question was, how can we find rubbish? And we can find rubbish between the corals and stuff by using the thingy, the gladius mini thing. And it can help by keeping the coral alive, because
Our question was, how do fish act in the wild? Our conclusion was, the fish would probably only interact with its prey, but species that aren't their prey, non-prey, or their species they wouldn't interact with it at all.
You should not fish near the rocks because there are reefs and caves near the rocks. There are also lots of fish near these spots. If we fish here, the fish would no longer recognize this place as a resting spot.
The research that me and my partner did ourselves was, where can we find caves, corals, and structures? We found about 7 to 8 sea structures, 3 corals on top of the reef, and 7 to 8 caves in between the rocks. So in conclusion, there were about 7 to 8 sea structures and caves, and there were 3 corals on top of the reef.